So I've never been really much of a weed guy. I mean, I like to get high from time to time, but not your prototypical uh, stoner dude. I'm a booze guy. I like my booze. I like to drink, and I've always enjoyed that more than the weed. But you know, been known to partake, and it's one thing I can't do. I have this condition that I can't mix booze and weed because it doesn't go well for me. And I learned this the hard way in college one night. There was this woman by the name of Rachel. Rachel was a lesbian, and I really wanted to fuck Rachel. And look, maybe she was bi, maybe she wasn't. I mean, there was some ambiguity there. It didn't. I wasn't like being totally skeevy, but she liked me. There was some chemistry going there, but I was also like Rachel's a lesbian, so it's probably not going to happen. But I'm a young guy, and I'm thinking, well, maybe it could happen. Who knows? So anyway, bunch of us go out one night to the bar, as we do, because it's college. It's like probably a Wednesday night. And Rachel's at the bar, and we all meet up, and we're having a great time. And we close down the bar, and Rachel's like, "You guys should come back to my house." And I'm like, "Yes, Rachel, we should definitely go back to your house." Because again, I'm thinking, maybe I'll get lucky tonight. And so we go back to Rachel's house, and we're sitting around for a minute. She's like, "You guys want to smoke?" She goes, "I got some really great weed." Now, I had been drinking all night long. I had had a prodigious amount of alcohol, which made me think that this was a good idea. And I was like, of course, of course. And so Rachel brings out this Rube Goldberg device of a bong, packs the bowl, sparks it, and I take a nuclear galactic size bong rip off this thing. And this, back in the early 2000s, weed wasn't like it is today. Weed, I'm used to like, oh yeah, it's just regular weed. You get a little high, you'll be fine. No, not unlike today where, you so much as glance sideways at an edible and you're stoned for 48 hours. I wasn't expecting this. And this was packed with some sort of, I don't know, genetically modified HMO North Slope killer trip weed. And I did a big enough bong hit to, well, it was an inadvisably large bong hit. And everybody's laughing. We're having a good time. I'm very, very drunk. And Rachel and I were flirting back and forth, and great time going on. And all of a sudden, that nuclear galactic bong rip starts to interact with all the booze that I had drank that night. And then that reaction caused me to, well, quite honestly, need to expel everything I had consumed orally for about 3 to 4 years. Now, I held on until I staggered out the front door of Rachel's apartment and sat down on her stoop and began to retch violently. You know how when you're high, time slows down? Everything seems to be going really slowly. You do not want to experience time dilation when you're fucking vomiting. Every retch is like, and that lasts about 3 to 4 days. And I sat on that stoop, vomiting my toenails up, I think for a decade and a half. My friends came out after I'd been there long enough to, my fingernails had all grown out, my hair had grown long, I had a giant beard. And they were like, "Dave, are you okay?" I'm like, "No, I'm not doing well at all." I was probably out there like 5 minutes. So they brought me back inside. There's nothing to kill a party like a dude violently vomiting on your front stoop. So the party was pretty much over, and they put me on Rachel's couch. They gave me a cold compress for my head and a trash can next to me in case I needed to, vomit up my soul. And everyone went home. Rachel and I did not sleep together that night. Mostly because Rachel was a lesbian and I'm a straight white male. But probably I think a little bit has to do with me puking my soul up. And I'm on the couch and I'm trying to fall asleep. Even as drunk and high as I was, I've never been able to really sleep well when I'm not in my own bed. And so I'm lying there on the couch just thinking, God, what a fucking moron I am. And the front door opens to Rachel's apartment. Now, Rachel had roommates, and I was like, okay, great. This is just going to be even more embarrassing. But it wasn't her roommates. It was me. I was walking in the door of Rachel's apartment to stand and stare down at my high, drunk, puking self lying on a lesbian's couch that I was trying to sleep with, knowing full damn well that she was a lesbian. And I was not pleased with what I saw. I don't know how long I stood over me, but I just remember that I was very disappointed in myself. This is some really strong weed. And so ever since then, I have a rule. I can either smoke weed or I can drink, because I don't ever want to puke on a lesbian's doorstep and sleep on her couch and have me disappointed in myself like that again. Yeah. Youth. It's wasted on the young.